Okay, I was just doing a quick look again at the Voynich Manuscript, and one of the things I asked was, was there a woman involved in creating this? Um, and I get the Queen of Swords, and I get the card of helping. It was meant to help. She wrote it to help people. And I do feel like more than one person was involved. I think it was, however, conceived, if you will, by a woman to do it for help. To help other women. The Tower. The Ace of Swords. Clarity here. It's like, it took, again, her purpose was taking away the artifice of the day, the baloney, if you will. I think, in her opinion, also, it was a time of great upheaval with that tower, and I believe certain things were going to be lost. I think there was a concern about that, and certainly about women's ability to take care of themselves. It's meant to help. So this cleared away the artifice also of, I think, a lot of ideas that this woman may have felt like were not helpful at the time with regard to, I believe, overall women's health. And I don't believe the health was just physical. I believe there's an aspect, definitely a spiritual dimension, that was part of this work. So this question is about whether a woman was significant in creating this manuscript. And there she is. There's one of them at least. She wanted something to be clear and straight to the point without a lot of nonsense that people would have to experience or go about to come to this understanding of what she shared. Five of Cups. Yes, again, we're dealing with the time of mourning, of grieving. You're dealing, I think, also with loss, death, dealing with depression. They may have taken that topic on board in their work. She also may have been someone who lost children, and had experience wherein she was exposed to, I believe, deaths that she felt maybe this knowledge would help to prevent. Ace of Wands. So she put her energy, she created this book. The Des inspired the book to give help. There were many things, I think, that she had to learn in a very roundabout way, and she just wanted to record her knowledge in a way that would benefit or help women, in particularly addressing physical and mental, spiritual needs. She was inspired to create this work. Here we have the Emperor, which to me looks like a pretty overbearing emperor, not the more positive emperor. And I think because it falls under the Tower, we're dealing with the mendacity toward women of that time by powers that be. This book was written to preserve the help, especially, I think, for women. 9 of Pentacles. They felt that this work here was, that they did a good job. They also understood clearly how in danger they were by authoritarian forces who controlled what people believed and thought and understood. The greater community there with that 9 of Pentacles. Also, I believe this woman, there was a woman here I'm shown as the main, I believe, person that came up with the idea. She wanted people to think independently and to understand and think for themselves. So there was some aspect of that brought into this book. I think she may have brought up the authoritarian patriarchy and may have even said something like, despite what you may have been told or etc., it's okay to do this, this will, shows good results, whatever. 4 of Swords. I think then, yeah, she dealt a lot with death. Definitely. I feel like I'm getting the sense that they were being told to do certain things with regard to perhaps not only like birthing, and these ideas I get were not well founded in her opinion. In fact, contradictory. They were harm causing in her opinion. Some of the things that they firmly put in place to believe to be true and told everybody else this is what you need to believe, she knew it wasn't so, and it caused people to die, and I think she dealt with a lot of death. 3 of Wands. She wanted people to broaden their horizon, their understanding here, and it was written to help and to keep them from shutting down this knowledge, this wisdom. So she made it available in the encoded fashion that she did. Chariot. It was passed around. This also feels like the coming of that witchcraft hunt mentality when I go down this way with the Tower. And Judgment, yes. So I think she wanted people to be able to think about life and death and health in a more expanded manner than she felt like the society was allowing for. And in particularly the heavy-handed authoritarian kind of people, men in charge, and that people just bought what they told them. There was no thought to try something different, to think out of the box and see if it works. She wanted to preserve this and to try to, I believe, have less deaths, mortality. Think outside the box. And I think she felt that certain things that were being used or done were causing more deaths more quickly, and that behavior, these things that they were being told to do, and maybe instead of what they knew better to do, was an issue. And she felt definitely was causing more deaths. And at that time, she was seeking to, I believe, leave something so that people had a resource, and that this book would get secretly, I believe covertly, passed around. It wasn't, from what I understand, necessarily wide distribution of this, but I believe that it was a reference, a coded reference with key symbology and the person reading it would have to have been given to understand some key things about how it was coded. Okay, so that's about her. Let's just see if it's going to be decoded anytime soon, if ever. Okay. Will the Voynich Manuscript ever be decoded anytime soon? Will the Voynich Manuscript be decoded, figured out, anytime soon? Will the Voynich Manuscript be cracked? Will that code be cracked anytime soon? Will the Voynich Manuscript be cracked? Will its code be cracked anytime soon? Okay, we have a King of Cups. Sorry. King of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I'm feeling like this is a man. Okay. The Magician. This could be cracking that code, figuring it out, or unfortunately it could be acting like you did. Let's hope there's, World. I do believe there's a man that's going to crack it. And perhaps in the relatively near future on the horizon. And this would indicate he is victorious. This falls beneath him. The Six of Cups deals with the past. So I think this is him victorious in understanding this past code, figuring it out. And there is a feeling of children there. So I think a lot of it was probably midwife information. Knight of Wands. This is the enthusiasm to get the work done and take on the task. Yeah, a health manual. Five of Pentacles, dealing with illnesses and poor health, and with children, and kind of like, I think, a guidebook to every day for the midwife and people that were not quote unquote considered doctors at the time, but who carried this wisdom and they wanted to preserve it. let's just go ahead and put that last row in. Page of Wands. I get the feeling that they may recreate the book translated in to various languages. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there will be a male that cracks this code and may create or recreate a translated facsimile of it. I feel like he's already at work on this. And the Seven of Swords, something that was left out or rejected. What is that? There's defense of something. Maybe it was just the manner in which it was written so that it would not easily be conquered, the code. I'm getting that vibe off of this card. But I do feel like this guy, this man, will be someone finally who, unlike the others, failed, who, unlike the others, succeeded where others failed. Excuse me. And the Three of Wands. It will broaden, actually, our understanding. Yet today, there's a broaden, again, of what that woman had intended, of that broadening of people's horizons with that book, an understanding and mindfulness. I do believe that the book, the manuscript, will be decoded by a man, and I believe he will create a translated facsimile for people to purchase if they're interested. And it deals largely with, I believe, health. And there's quite possibly some divination involved in some of the work. There's that spiritual kind of an element, a little bit of occult aspect. It will be interesting. It will be interesting. So I believe that there will be a man who is working on it, coming up, I believe, in the near future, that will decode this. And I believe he will recreate, he'll create a facsimile that's translated into various languages. Let's pull a couple extra cards just for the fun of it. The Chariot, he is success. I get success in decoding it. And the Devil, but there may be some kind of temptation with that. And I can't imagine that there wouldn't be. People may try to detract him with lures and temptation, but I think he will go ahead, yes, and publish it. It's about women, and it's a woman's voice. It's about women, the Empress, and I believe the earth, the plants, the micro and the macrocosm, but this is for women. And children. So there you have it. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much.